Right everyone, and thanks for coming back to my channel and checking out another one of my videos. As always, much appreciated. Okay, so we'll get straight into this video. We won't go on too much about it. This video I've done before, but a lot of people have been asking me, new subscribers and stuff like that, how do I get the gold from these chips? So first off, you need to get the chips removed from the board. So I used to always just use a chisel and I'd flick them off with a chisel, but I've discovered that if I leave them soaking in copper chloride that I've left over from when I done the ram fingers, so when I have the ram fingers taken off there, I can use the copper chloride from that to loosen up all the little bits on here and get all my chips out of it and just leave the boards afterwards. Now, people say there's bits of gold on there, so some of that may come off in the copper chloride, but yeah, all I'm trying to do on this is get the chips off. So there's all different types of boards and all different types of connectors on them. These type, I would have just got a chisel and cut down along here and pulled off the chips, but I've discovered, put them into something with copper chloride and it gets them off a lot quicker, a lot easier. If you have used up your copper chloride. So if you're finished with your copper chloride for the gold recovery side of it, for getting the flakes off the boards, then you can go and put these into the copper chloride. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go outside, we're going to put them into copper chloride and we'll leave them sitting in there for a while, and then we'll get our chips hopefully and weigh them and then incinerate them, and I'll show you how the whole process works to get the gold bond wires that is inside of all these chips. So these are going to be put into copper chloride now, so come on and join me. Okay guys, so here we are, and this is our copper chloride, and all I'm going to be doing is just dropping these in, trying to not splash any acid all over the place. So I'm going to throw all these in. You don't need to see me throw every one of them in, but we'll come back once there's been a week maybe. I might leave them sitting in there for a week and I'll come back and we should be able to take these out and just remove the chips. So I'll show you how that works. Now it will probably remove any of these little bits of gold and other little bits that are still there, but it's mainly the chips I'm after on this. So I'll carry on putting them in, and you can come back after a week and see how we get on. Okay, so it's been about 3 days since I put this into the ram into the acid, and you can see there the acid is looking very green. And we'll have a look and see how these are coming off. So no chips on there, so that's completely cleaned off. No chips on there, so completely cleaned off. So it looks like it's already done its work. So after 3 days, it looks like all the chips are gone. So you can see that oh wait, we have a chip there, so there's still one on that one. There it is, that's it off. So the acid has done its work. So what I'm going to have to do now is remove all the ram sticks and gather up the chips, wash them to make sure there's no acid left on them, and we'll get to incinerating them. So that's good that it's worked. So you can see here, it mightn't have worked where there was, so yeah, you can see here actually where it took off you can see the copper underneath the green mask. So I know people do go after that copper on there, so I'm not sure if it's Empire Fines or is it Mike's Meltdown or someone else. There's some other scrapper out there, I can't think who it is, goes after it. So any of these that haven't been fully cleaned off, I'll leave in there for a while longer, and the ones that where the chips just fall off, we'll take them out. So come back once we've all the chips and we'll weigh them up and see what we have. Right guys, so I have done the chips. That's all the chips. You can see there's some copper on them, so some copper did come out of solution when I was putting this into the copper chloride. So it did drop out some of the copper that came, because some of the metal would have dissolved and it dropped out some of the copper. So we're going to get a weigh in, so just to see what we're working with. So I've set that to £0, and we'll put this on top. And what have we got? Exactly 3.5 pounds of chips to work with. So what will the yield be from that, going on previous people doing them and myself doing it? The last time I got it, I think it was 1.5 grams per pound. So going on that again, we should have 3.5 is 3.5 grams, and half of that again, so 1.75, so 4.75, 5.25 grams roughly should be the yield. Now it could be 6 or it could be 7, it all depends on the type of gold that's in there, or it could be as low as 3, but 3 to 7 is where I'd be looking at. So if I hit something around 5.25, I won't be too disappointed on that. 5.5 grams, I won't be too disappointed. So next stage is we have to incinerate these chips. So if you had seen previous videos where I've done the incineration, which I will put a link up here, but watch this video all the way through and maybe come back and check out the previous way I've done it as well. In the previous way, I threw all my chips into something like this and I put it into the stove. My plan this time is, I'm going to hope it works, but I don't know, is I'm going to put all my chips in here and I'm going to put that into the stove so that it gets it all heated. The only thing I'm worried about is whether this hinges will hold with the heat, or will they just pop off, because I'm not sure how they're riveted on or they soldered on or whatever, so the heat may, and again I'd be worried about up here where the door shuts. I'm not 100% sure how that will hold out. So what I might do is I'll put them in here and I might just leave it sitting in this as well, so that if it does open out, at least they're not going to fall into the fire and be lost completely. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this up. So we're going to fill this up with the chips. I'm not going to fill it because I want it in such a way that I can turn it and let the chips all be heated up. So something like that maybe. So I think we'll go with that. So it allows my chips to be turned, so I can turn them and make sure they're all getting done. If any bits fall out, hopefully we'll get them collected in here. And I also have this one, which is a bit thicker, so I'm not worried about anything burning out on that. So again, we can just fill the chips in there. And so when I shove this into the stove, because that's what I'm going to use, the same as I did the last time, the stove, I'm hoping that the flames will be able to get in all around this, and we'll be able to get, now one end of this will be open, so that's why I have to make sure this is the end that goes in last, because we don't want to just tip them straight down into the fire. So I'm just going to fill that. You come back once I've that filled, and we'll be ready to get them into the stove. Okay, so as you can see, we have the stove going there, and nice flame on it. So we'll just open that door up. I have my heat resistant gloves on, so a good blast of heat. I hope it doesn't damage the camera. I might move it back a bit. And all I'm going to do is try and fit these in. So it might be too tall yet for that one, so we'll leave that aside for a second and we'll go with this one first. So all I'm doing is placing that directly in there. So as you can see, it's placed directly in among the flames. I'll let that carry on, and then I'll put this other one in as well in a few minutes. So hopefully that'll start to work, and you can see the flame changing colour to a greeny colour. So that's actually the what you call burning there, the chip starting to burn. So we let that carry on, and what we'll do is once I've that completely incinerated, so I'm going to just throw this in as well. What I might do is just see if I can put that down there. Perfect. And I'm wondering, can we maybe just sit this on top? Not quite yet. There's not enough room yet because we have a big log still burning away here. So maybe if I move that to the side, I'll try it like this for a minute. So we'll put them in and we'll see how we get on. and we'll come back in a while and see how it'll go. Hopefully that other one doesn't burn the hinges open, because if it does, the chips will just fall into the fire and that would have been a waste. But anyhow, we'll see how we get on. So check back in a while. Okay, so it's the next morning and I've left the chips to cool down, so we'll have a look at them. We'll see how they worked so far. So they look fairly good. A few black bits still in there, not fully done, but maybe they might be done. They're just probably the dies from the centre. So we'll just tip them out. And that seems to have done a very good job of them. So we pick one up and we'll just zoom in a bit. Oh, that fell straight apart. So that is a very good job, and that's just our die in there. Yes, so seems to be perfect. So just by, so I'm trying to find something that's black. So that seems to be just a, yeah, that's just the die in the center. So that seems to have worked it brilliantly. Now, some of the thicker ones, we'll have a look at them. So I would say that's a success. Judging by it there, it looks like everything is crumbling fairly easy. That when it gets into the grinder, we'll grind it down into a fine powder. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll check the other one. So this is the other one. And the exact same result. So brilliant. Both ways work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to finish the rest of the chips up, and we'll get a weigh in and see what weight, do we lose much weight when we burn them of the carbon, getting rid of the carbon, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to get rid of as much carbon as we can from it, because carbon is not your friend when you're working with gold. So that's very good, because carbon holds on to the gold. So you want to make these as white as possible and as powdery as possible. So that I'm fairly happy with, to be honest with you. There's nothing more I could have asked for than that. So I'm going to do the rest of the chips and we'll come back. We'll get a weigh in again and see what we have weight-wise. So let's see what we ended up with. Okay, so we have completed incinerating the chips, and as you can see, they just crumble as soon as I touch them. So any of the chips there, they just crumble into what I want, the fine dust. So that means when we get to the next stage of grinding them up, which I won't be doing on this video. I just want to show you how I incinerate the chips, get them ready for the next stage. So I said I'd give a weigh in to see what we have there. But first, I put a short video up, if you follow my channel. I put a short video up here and I put it up on TikTok. And I was getting a lot of questions asked about this container. Where was it? What was it from? Did I make it myself? Stuff like that. No, I didn't make it myself. Bought it from Amazon, I think it was. And it's a cage that is used with barbecues. So I think you put your veg or stuff like that would fall through the barbecue into it, and you can just turn it and cook whatever it is on the barbecue. So it works perfect for this. It works really well. So we're going to get a weigh in. So let me, just to see what we have now left after the incineration. I'm sure I've lost a little bit through the container in the fire, but hopefully it won't make much of a difference. So let's zero this. So again, we're zeroed, so we're on pounds again. And let's see what we have now. So there we go, 2.85 pounds. So we have lost a certain amount on there. Again, I don't know whether that's stuff that has fallen through here or when the carbon has burned off that we have lightened the load on it. So yeah, so that's it, guys, for this video. Thanks for watching, as always. Really do appreciate it, but it has turned out really well. I think, anyhow, you can see there how it just crumbles, and you get the dies, and you'll have some, so hopefully there's some nice gold bond wires in here somewhere. So check out in the future video where we'll grind this up, grade it so we get it down as fine as we can through the sieves and stuff like that. It shouldn't take that much to break it down. The dies and stuff will be the broken down with it. Then we have to use our magnet to get out whatever it is out of it and stuff like that. And that's it. So thanks for watching, as always. Appreciate it. If you don't mind, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of my other videos on gold recovery. And if you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. It's not mandatory, but I do appreciate every subscriber that has subscribed to my channel so far. Appreciate you giving up your time to watch the videos. And don't forget to check out my lives, usually on a Sunday night. And catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep on looking for that gold. It's in there now at the moment.